Well, we take a roll call, make sure we got a quorum. Kent Nygaard's here, Ms. Frederick here, Murray Smith here, Peter Perez,
Yeah.
and Sharon De Marseille is here. We got a quorum. Receive comments from the public. See any strangers?
Please even make comments.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, you want me
That's,
to make public comment?
Public comments.
yeah, we are.
Okay,
I'm going first.
Pete's gonna,
He's gonna go first
Make
and
first.
just want to speak
Okay.
to us by Shelley, our Adjutant General.
Ready for me?
yes, sir.
I'm gonna keep this short and direct, and I'm gonna do this for the, where's the camera anyway? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Thank you very much. Anyway, it's not gonna be entirely sweet, but it will be what it is. First, I want to thank a number of people for their hard work. First is Eric and Maureen. I spent a lot of time with Maureen and Shelley. I couldn't have gathered the information without you guys. And I really do appreciate it. And more importantly, thanks for sticking with me because I got frustrated from time to time. And I wasn't used to all the stuff. Okay. So anyway, I know y'all stuck with me through this and I thank you, Eric. Next, Ed. Where's Ed? He's gone.
His other side.
That's all right. Just tell, hey, Chris, tell Ed and the whole, you guys are fantastic. All right. And y'all handle it so well. You handle the whole thing so well. I can't imagine you have to deal with 50 of us, but anyway, you do handle it well. And finally, Sharon, my cohort, she's simply outstanding. I can't say enough about that. Thank you. Now, my partner's here. Yes, Kent, all right. Over the past year, you've inherited a difficult situation and unfortunately did little to improve it. Vince and Murray, you did not create these problems. You know who created it. You also did little to meaningfully address them, in my opinion. Kent, among the previous directors, bears responsibility for the financial mismanagement of Mud 36 and the position it's in. That said, I do appreciate Murray. I appreciate Murray for your at least supporting the consolidation of the muds into one mud. It may not happen in my lifetime, but it's what needs to be. It needs to happen. Finally, I'm going to distribute 2 letters. You go ahead and give those out. One of them. There you go. Here and here. Sharon, I want you to have you on. And the rest is going to go, I'm going to give them to you to distribute the way you like. Okay? Anyway, the first is an open letter I wrote, so actually the second, to the board of directors and presented at a meeting last year. Okay, I think it was September of last year about the financial situation that we're in. All right. I think you ought to reread it. Most of you have already seen it. Now, Namie and Mike have not seen it. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think you ought to give one to both of you. So I'm gonna give you 2 and you 1. Yeah. All right. So I encourage you to reread it. All right. The second is from Kent Nygaard. Yes. To fellow citizens and taxpayers, presumably of the Woodlands, signed President Mud 36 and notably unsigned. All right. And undated. Once again, Mr. Maggot took it upon himself to speak on behalf of Mud 36 without authorization of the board of directors. As many of you recall, he did the same thing while presenting to the Woodlands Board 36 and not participating in the dam project. And we are going to participate in the dam project. Lastly, to Namie and to Mike, I ask you as Citizen Pete to do not become lapdogs to Kent or anybody else. All right? Do not do that. Think for yourself. Do the right thing for Mud 36 and the people of the community. I wasn't going to say this, but the last thing is I'm a member of George's Coffee. pretty much everybody knows what George's coffee is to respect George Mitchell and what he meant. And a lot of people who were Aaron Joseph's coffee actually started the Woodlands with him. Please try your best to keep the Woodlands intact and in the image of what George Mitchell presented and wanted to happen. That's the least we can do. And thanks.
Karen?
If y'all don't mind, I won't stand. But I did want to just share a few sentences. You have a copy of this Moody's downgrade. And I just wanted to make it very clear about leaving and my admonishment to encourage the new board. That it was August of 2023 when the Moody's Investors Service downgraded MUD 36 from A3 to A2. A negative outlook has been assigned. The district has approximately $1.4 million in debt outstanding. This reflects the district's weak governance, leading to multiple years of operating deficits and declining reserves that are very narrow in comparison to similarly rated peers. Further, the district benefits from a very low debt burden with no plans for additional debt. Governance considerations are material to the credit profile. The negative outlook reflects the declining reserve levels that are below median levels and projected to decline further. Inability to increase revenues sufficient to cover annual operating costs and improve reserve levels could result in further downward rating action. So I want to encourage you all to have the courage to potentially discuss with the attorney a rollback on and sending this to the voters for a rate change so that we would be closer in parity to some of the other smaller MUDs, because having the lowest MUD tax rate is nothing to brag about. Thank you.
Anybody else? As far as public comment. Okay. Item 3, consider an act on request for adjustments from relief from specific charges imposed by the district. Jeannie? While we're going through here, we've got 2 new directors. Jeannie is our tax collector. So anyway, and she's the one that if you don't like your taxes, you try to, or if you don't agree with the assessment, I guess, right, or whatever, you protest Jeannie. Okay, the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review the consent agenda?
Looks good. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Go to the regular agenda. Accept qualifications, statements and bonds and oaths of office and affidavits of current directors for directors Johnson and Southern. And before we get into there, Eric has got a presentation for
Yes,
our outgoing directors.
yes. On behalf of Woodlands Water Agency and MUD 36, we'd like to present both of you with this plaque of appreciation for your years of service. It says, "Our sincere thank you and appreciation for exceptional leadership and dedicated service to Montgomery County Municipal Utility District number 36. Peter's time was from May of 2023 to today. And then Sharon's was from May of 2022 to today. So I just wanted to say I appreciate working with y'all since I've been here, and it's been a pleasure, and thank you for your service.
It was our pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, well, with that, I'll go ahead and consider a motion to accept the qualification statements for our newly elected directors, and then I'll perform the oath of office, and they'll come up here and take their seat. And y'all can, you go. Yes, you can go. You can go. I'm so excited.
So moved.
Yes.
Second,
Motion to a second.
all those in favor? Aye.
Motion carries. All right. All right, we're gonna go first in line. You wanna go first? Sure, what, you first?
Okay.
Michael, you go by Michael or Mike?
That's fine.
Mike, you want to stand up, raise your right hand. At the end, if you agree with the oath, say I do or I will. You, Mike Johnson, solemnly swear or affirm that you'll faithfully execute the duties of the office of the Governor County Mud, number 36, for the state of Texas, and to the best of your ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and law of the United States and this state, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations.
Hey, yeah.
All right, Amy. Tommy, second time's a charm. You, Nami Southern, solemnly swear or affirm that you'll faithfully execute the duties of Director of Montgomery County Mud, number 36, of the state of Texas, and will to the best of your ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help you God.
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, come on up and have a seat. Can I go? I got one guy who's ready to go.
Here. You guys have been great. I'll see you soon. Okay. I'll tell Hudson I saw you.
Congratulations.
It's going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sure.
One more copy that goes to sign.
Now that Michael, or Mike and Nami are official directors, I thought probably nobody knows them. I thought I'll let Nami and Mike kind of give them a background of who they are and a little bit about them, so everybody will get to know them at least in a 30-second biography. Nami, you want to
Sure.
tell everybody who you are?
I'm Nami Southern. I'm a retired petroleum engineer. I went to Texas A&M. I work for ExxonMobil and for Chevron. Fun fact about me, I met my husband on my first petroleum engineering class. My oldest daughter just graduated yesterday and she's heading to A&M to study petroleum engineering. So
Congrats.
that's all about me. Michael?
Yeah, I'm Michael Johnson. I'm retired now. A long career in finance. Started out my career at ExxonMobil. Worked for Aramco for about 10 years in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. Finance guy there. I had responsibility on the budget side with all of the utilities and the lease for our facilities and all that. I spent a long time in audit. Spent a long time in a CFO type position, and my claim to fame here, as I got back, I think for 28 years, I worked for IBM, and I won the contract to install all the billing systems at CenterPoint Energy, City Public Service in San Antonio, some other places outside of that. So I have a long background on that.
Thank you, Mike.
Significantly overqualified directors.
I thought the other thing, looking back on my first day, I might let the staff introduce themselves so that they know who you are, because they're going to be here every year. So, Eric, Eric's the general manager. Go ahead and just.
Eric Peterson, General Manager for Blue Ridge Water Agency. Started here in February of 2023. And also A&M grad, class 97. So civil engineer, practiced civil engineering for 22 years. And then been doing this since. So.
Maureen.
Maureen Bourgeois, County Manager. I've been here since 98. did not graduate for me. No.
Hey, that's a plus.
Any questions, please let me know. I'll be passing out some information.
Jeannie?
And I'm Jeannie Scott. I'm the tax assessor collector and I've been here since 96. And I'm also not angry.
And Shelley?
If you need anything.
I'm Shelley, I'm board secretary, I handle our human resources here at the office. Been here since 2010, so about 16 years now.
And Kim?
Deputy General Manager. I've only been here about a year and a half. Directly under Eric and with you guys.
Now, the rest of these folks are with the River Authority and they come and go. So rather than, they'll be making a presentation tonight and introduce themselves anyway. So I'll let them make their presentation and you'll see them. Chris, you'll see almost every time unless he's going to, who knows, what pipeline break or whatever. So anyway, with that, item 9, elections not to disclose certain information.
Yeah, those are the documents that are filled out by our new directors for keeping their personal information confidential. So we do need a motion to accept those documents.
Motion to accept those documents.
Have a second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Item 10, election of officers of the Board of Directors. Okay, the first one is for president. Do I have a nomination?
Nominate Murray. No, Murray, Ken. Sorry, Ken.
Sorry about that. Do I have a second?
Sure.
Do I have any other nominations? Any nominations? Okay, all those in favor of Kent? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Vice President, I'll nominate Vince Frederick.
Second.
Any other nominations? No other nominations. Vince Frederick is Vice President. Right? Oh, I guess we have, yeah. All those in favor of Vince Frederick? Okay, Secretary Treasurer, I'll nominate Murray Smith.
Second that.
Any other nominations? Okay, those in favor of Murray?
Aye.
Question? Okay, and then we've got 2 assistant secretaries. And I don't think there's any other significance of the number 4 and 5 spot other than the fact that you both sign checks, right? So.
As long as Murray does his job, you don't have to do yours.
But if he's
Murray likes to travel though.
Yeah, Murray's likes to travel, so.
So we do, like, in all seriousness, we try to have assistant secretaries in case the secretary's out of town, they have to attest to documents. So that's the point of having assistant secretaries available.
Okay, I'll nominate Tommy for first assistant secretary. Second.
Second.
Those in favor? Aye.
Yep.
And then
And
the other assistant secretary, Mike, is got that job by default. So we don't have to vote, right?
They just still have to vote on the,
Okay. We'll vote for, we have a vote for Mike for assistant secretary. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Appointment of trustee and alternates to the Woodlands Water Agency Board of Trustees. And
I'll make a nomination of Kent.
second. Any other nominations? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Then we have to have an assistant secretary and
well, my first alternate.
our first alternate,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember.
First alternate was Murray, second alternate was Vince, is what we have.
Okay, that's what. Okay. I'll nominate Murray for first alternate.
A second.
Any other nominations? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. Second alternate.
I nominate Vince.
I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
You have.
He
You one of
got a-
these?
he's got
Can we
a-
get two? Yeah. There we
Either
go.
one of them out of the packet. First thing, first,
What will happen is Shelley will send out an email on Friday afternoon telling you that the Friday afternoon beforehand that those are available to pick up here. And
and then
then
Monday morning, there'll be a test to see
You're ready?
if you've
yeah.
read it all, 94 pages.
So the day of the board meeting, if there's things that we're not able to get into the packet by Friday, if they're week before, then you'll see stuff kind of lined up here that additional information that we might be covering.
So the very first page is the agenda for tonight, so that'll save you some thumbing through here. So we're actually on agenda. That was my mistake. Very first page is we're on the, actually doesn't even have a page number. So that's tonight's agenda. So you don't have to. go
Shelley,
over-
can I get a similar packet? I didn't grab all that stuff. Nobody's ever told me that that's what those were there for in 2 years.
Sorry.
Another, another.
Sorry.
So you want
Is this
some of these
besides what
for
was
each
out there?
meeting? The.
Well,
30,
these are.
or rather, these are
trustees
similar to
meeting.
this. The. Your.
That's the previous
221.
Last couple months and stuff.
This is-
Rehash.
Okay. I don't need
It's all 36 at the top, you know.
Okay. Item 12, approval of district registration form relative to the election of directors. Brian? number
Yeah,
12,
so
what
this
is it?
is an administrative form that's filed with the TCEQ, which regulates the district. It includes factual information about the district, including who the directors are, terms of office for each director, and the officer positions. That's obviously changed with the action y'all have taken here today, so we do need authorization for my office to complete that form and file it with the TCEQ.
Trying to move that we direct your office to do so.
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Okay,
And item 13 is to update the local government officer list. That includes all the directors as well as your investment officers, your general manager and county manager. We need to update that to reflect our new directors.
Yeah, move to update that as described.
second. All those in favor? Aye.
All right, and 14, I'll go ahead and cover 14 through 16 as well. So 14 relates to the requirements for new directors to complete Open Meetings Act and Public Information Act training. There's a memo in the packet of materials that I gave y'all, Mike and Nami, to go to the AG's website. You can complete both of those training sessions. Each is 1 hour long. Once you've completed each training, you can download or print a certificate of completion for each training session. If you send those to Shelley, she'll put them in your file and that'll evidence that you completed your training. The good news is it's a one-time thing. It's not a continuing education. Once you've done it once, whether you serve for 4 years or, 40 years, you don't have to do it again. No action is necessary there. If you got questions on how to access it or what have you, contact me or Shelley. So that's 14. 15, also in the packet of materials I gave y'all was a memo that had a page with a bunch of check yes or no boxes. Vast majority of the time, our directors don't have any conflicts. If you have some business relationship with a vendor that the district does business with, things like that. But if something comes up, whether it's now or in the future, give me a call and we can talk about it. Mike, I'll give you a card after the meeting. I already gave Nami a card. So, if there's an issue that comes up in the future, give me a call because those are always very fact specific about whether you have a conflict. We can talk about it and see what, if anything, you need to do to address that conflict or potential conflict. No action is necessary on that item 15. 16 is applicable to all directors. There's a memo in your packet regarding cybersecurity and artificial intelligence training. I think the short answer for y'all, I've kind of gone through a longer spiel this evening, but basically, you have to complete the cybersecurity training now. You only have to do the AI training if you use a district computer system for 25% or more of your duties. You can get into nuance about, okay, is the Wi-Fi system here a computer system of the district? Is accessing documents off the district's, off the agency's Google Drive? Use your best judgment. If you feel like it's close, in terms of whether it's applicable to you, go ahead and complete the AI training as well. I've had some directors who say, well, I don't think I actually have to, but I'm kind of interested. So can I do it?
I was thinking.
Yeah. So, knock yourself out. I mean, there are free training options on the memo. Shelley's going to email the memo out to y'all so you have an electronic version that you can just click on the link instead of having to type in like
Long
a
URL.
three line long URL, make it a little bit easier for you. Different from the Open Meetings Act and Public Information Act training, a couple important distinctions. One, it's not a one and you're done training exercise. It is an annual requirement. So the first deadline is August 31st. I would recommend you go ahead and do it, now so it doesn't fall off your radar screen. I did fail to mention on the PIA and Open Meetings Act training for Mike and NAMI, you're supposed to complete that within 90 days, but I always tell directors do it in the first 30 so it doesn't fall off your radar. So one difference is the requirement to do it annually. So after you complete the first training, what we'll probably do is put on agendas around this time of year to remind directors that they need to do it for the next year. And that's how we'll handle it going forward. The second major difference with the other training is that there's not a certificate of completion that the training program provides, from what we've been told by some directors who've already completed it. So I've told directors we're just going to go on the honor system. Email Shelley, let her know, if you've done one or both training sessions, and she'll put that email in your file to evidence that you've completed the training for this year, and we'll do the same for future years as well. Happy to answer questions if you have them. Don't ask me how to look AI, but I can tell you about the training requirements.
I did I find out I had a QR code scanner in my phone built in that I had never enabled. I was using an app. So I got something out of it. There you go. So you never know what you're going to
I
find.
used it more than I have. That's all I have. Happy to answer other questions if you have them. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to you, Kent, for 17.
Shelley, you sent out an email to the trustees? Are you going to send the same email reminding them about the training, and then let up people reply to your email or yes, I've complied?
Yeah, I can do that. I can send you the.
That way everybody can just reply.
Yeah, mainly for the links. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you had in your email that said once you've done it, please email me back and say you've done it. So, okay, you're gonna send them all the links. Yeah, good. Okay, item 17. Receive the regular monthly SGRA Woodlands Division report.
All right, so just a couple things. The first
Why don't
is
you introduce yourself.
introductions. So first is introductions. So I'm Chris Meeks. I'm the Utility Enterprise Manager for the San Jacinto River Authority. The Utility Enterprise is comprised of the Woodlands and GRP division. So I manage all the water sewer here in the Woodlands, but also the GRP division, which produces the surface water for Montgomery County. So been with the authority for just over 16 years. I'm going to turn it over to my boss, Ed.
I'm Ed Shackelford, Director of Operations for the River Authority. And so I have Chris, 2 divisions plus 3 others, our Highlands Division, our Lake Conroe Division, and our Flood Management Division that comprises of about 85 employees, and it keeps us busy.
And I'm Aaron Schindewolf. I've been with the San Jacinto River Authority for over 15 years now. I'm the engineering manager. So I oversee working with the divisions for the planning, project implementation purposes, developing the 10-year project plans every year. The implementation for the divisions that it operates, so, or oversees operations for.
All right, so the other item we have is Aaron presented about a 50-minute presentation to the trustees on the project plan that we present every year. No actions needed on it, but the PowerPoint is in your packet, starting on page 35 through 69. And that is also this big document here. So we encourage you to watch the trustees meeting, read this information, and if you have any questions, get back with Eric or next month when we're here. So be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Okay, any questions? Questions? Item 18, receive and discuss the draft fiscal year 2027 SGRA Woodlands Division budget.
That'll be next month.
Next month.
Okay. Next month, item 19, consider an act on the supplemental agreement with SGRA for issuing some bonds in connection with the Tier 1 water line renewal projects, including discussion on timing of the Tier 1 water line renewal projects and review of the district payment options.
There we go. All right, just to give you an update on what we've been talking about the last few months with the supplemental agreements for the water line projects for Town Center and Woodford Parkway. If you refer to this sheet, these sheets here, Adam provided performance and summaries of what the impact would look like to the customers, both from a water rate standpoint and a tax rate standpoint, for the first two tranches of the one line project. So last couple of months, you saw on this summary that there's about 32 million for tranche 1 and 30 million for tranche 2. And so folks had asked, well, what does that, how does that impact the community? So what I did was take Adam's work and just extract all of the summary data off of that and onto one sheet so you can see it together. So long story short, they ran it on 20-year bonds, 25-year bonds. And so you can see there on water rate standpoint, that first 32 million in bonds would equate to about $4.53 on the average customer's water bill, average residence water bill. And then after the second bond, that'd be another $4.27. So over the next 2 to 5 years or so, that would be sequenced in as those bonds were sold. And then we looked at what it would look like from a tax rate standpoint. And so, as you know, doing it on a tax rate standpoint, you have to go back to the voters. So likely, after the next year, when you hear more about the treatment plant, and we can probably have another discussion on that to see what the long-term play would be as far as whether this goes water rates or tax. But in the meantime, for that, at least the first tranche, it would be $4.53 to the average customer.
But that actually comes through the River Authority through their wholesale water rate.
Right. And
then we just pass it through into our retail rate. So
Remind me, what's the average customer's gallonage?
10,000
10,000 gallons.
per month. Yeah.
Okay.
And the average water bill is about, that's water and sewer, everything is 104. So that would add $4.50, 53 cents to that.
but we don't have to get involved. At least they're going to sell the bonds, right?
Right.
As part of that.
Current one.
Right.
And I'm Adam Cohen, act as financial advisor to all the Woodlands districts.
So we won't have to get involved in the elections, at least in the short term.
Right.
Just to give you a little background is that this water line project has been, I guess, going on for more than 2 years, and several Woodlands water directors and consultants in the River Authority got together and they prioritized various lines in the Woodlands, 1, 2, 3, as far as what is critical and or number one from a disruption standpoint, but also what's been breaking more than abnormal. So they came up with a tiered replacement system, and that's when Eric was talking about tier 1, tier 2, just for your directors. So that's what that's all about. So over a period of many years, we'll be replacing various major water lines. Okay.
That is correct.
Any other questions? And will that be included in our for the new directors? Our budget year starts 1st of October. And will we have any change in wholesale rates for 2027?
That's what we're going to talk about next month, right? Normal O&M. It's essentially, we're going to probably look at a 1% rate increase on the wholesale side.
So in the short, next year we'll you'll have a few months on your belt, but they'll be presenting a budget based on what they're projecting expenditures are. Okay, item 20, discussion regarding consolidation of Woodlands utility districts 1, 6, and 36. And Vince is, they formed a committee, and Eric is kind of the chairman, I guess, or kind of the ad hoc group of facilitator of trying to get these so Vince is our representative with the group, and I don't know whether you've got anything to add about whether anybody's talked any further, but
Yeah, there's no update. Mud One had requested a former director to help just run numbers and put some documents together, and he's still working on it. So that's all there is. There haven't been any meetings or.
okay, item 21, receive attorney's report.
Covered all I need to cover tonight.
Okay, you're done. Receive and act on a general manager's report.
All right, general manager's report starts on page 70 of your packet. As you can see there on page 70, that's a list of quite a few of the open projects. Open projects are new redevelopment. Anytime someone wants to do a new development or a redevelopment, whether it be single family or commercial, they need to go through a process providing drawings of their intentions. We review those, then we do inspections of the work once it's done. We have about 178 open projects that we do right now. Last month, we had about 44 inspections related to those. We had over 1,200 work orders throughout the Woodlands on water leaks and all kinds of different things. So on our day-to-day basis, very busy going on right now. Next page gets into some of the ditch work. We've provided this document here for you to review or look at. Over the last few months, we've been talking about a lot of the ditch work that we've been doing. And we put together a summary that shows all of what we have been doing across the Woodlands. Each of the MUDs approved budget for this fiscal year to do quite a bit of ditch repairs and such. And so this is just a summary of a lot of the work that we've done so far. So we've been making great progress on the list, and we will continue to do that throughout this fiscal year.
Just one comment. Could you, since that's all over the Woodlands, could you put on there what MUDs that are part of each? In other words, some of them cover several MUDs. I know some of those ditches.
It's on the exact MUD that it is related to is on here. Right here. The MUD column.
Okay,
So
I was looking over here on the left.
yeah, it is true. There's various ditches.
Oh, okay.
Span multiple districts, but where the
So-
specific repair was is identified in that.
Okay, so that's okay, so it's like the 9X3's got
Correct.
4 MUDs.
Multiple
So this is just a section that you worked on.
Yes, and a lot of these are, as you can see, the type of issue, pipe failure. So wherever that actual pipe was is where the MUD is identified. Let's see, the AWBD conference is coming up in June, so that's June 18th, 19th, and 20th. For the new directors, AWBD Association of Water Board Directors. It's an organization that assist in education of directors, both new and old directors, old in terms of how many years you've been involved, but that really helps with industry things that are going on, things that MUDs deal with, legislative issues, operations, could be all kinds of different things. They have seminars over the course of that conference. They have multiple events throughout the year. The summer conference is their big event where it's multiple days. And so if you have any interest in that, we need to get you registered. It's this year and it moves around. And so this year's summer conference is at the Gaylord in Grapevine. So if you're interested, reach out to Shelley and she can assist in getting you set up with that. If you're interested. Also, we will be doing a new director orientation. For new directors, we have a orientation where you can come and we will, it's a couple hours where we go through and introduce Woodlands Water staff and kind of explain the basics of what we do for you and how we work with the MUD and SRA as a team to make all this work. So that's on June 12th. That's a Friday. Likely it'll be early afternoon, but we'll send out a reminder on when we get the date or the time scheduled for that. It'll be here at this location.
How many new directors did you end up with this?
It's around 12, I think. Is that right?
We go the whole day, I think.
No, it's just, it'll be an hour and a half, 2 hours. The 12th, June 12th, yes.
I'd recommend it to go.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, we don't get heavy into the details of project specifics. We really dive into more of the, what we do, who we are, and how we tie into this whole process. We are looking at having a possible all-MUDs meeting likely in June to focus on getting everybody up to speed on the water line reversal projects. As we just talked about in the funding piece, we'll kind of go through where we've been, where we are, and where we're going on those projects. We don't have a date for that. We need to get locations set up for that. So we'll work on that at the June meetings and then try to get that scheduled. How many were?
12.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
All right. Also in your report, a little bit further on there, on page 91, there's a letter from the groundwater reduction plan, the GRP, that identifies the prorated split vote shares for the global amendment. I know that won't mean much to y'all at the moment, but there's a vote that needs to be taken over the next couple months for an amendment to a contract with the GRP. And this is just spelling out what the voting shares, the amendment, in order for to pass, will require 85% of all these members to vote affirmative for that to pass. So that will be later this year. And lastly, we included, as you can see in the packet, quite a few thank yous that we received from customers. We always like to show you what we're receiving. Some folks even went to the extent of actually writing it on a card and mailing it in. So we really,
strange concept.
yeah, that's the old fashioned way. Well, the way I look at it is if they're willing to go to that length, then we really impressed them. Emails are great, phone call, all that, but man, that's pretty awesome. So we strive to, anytime we come out to an issue at a residence or a customer's, property, we want to make sure that we're representing you appropriately and that we impact them positively and we fix their home. We love when we hear that feedback back. So with that, I will kick it to John for.
Yes, let me ask you a question. He's also, Eric is our representative of the GRP committee that oversees the surface water treatment plant. We've got a representative in Conroe's got a representative in east of 45 West. Anyway, so my question is what's the feedback from the rest of the GRP about signing this global agreement. Do you?
No, I don't have any indication on it.
But I noticed you lost 2 or 3 of the
members.
the members. So is that going to put it in any kind of limbo? Or I assume that all those participants look to their representative advice or.
Perhaps, I don't know how much interaction they have with their constituents on that. There was extenuating circumstances. One of the members passed away. That was one of them. The other one, worked, his employment was with, City of Oak Ridge, and he resigned, took a different position. And, accordingly, he stepped down from being that representative. Some of the representatives are elected, some of them are appointed. Our position is appointed, whereas both of those were elected, and so they'll need to identify who those individuals are. Another individual stepped down because he was no longer a council member on the city of Conroe. And so the city of Conroe has identified their new representative to be placed in that seat. So there is some movement on the committee board, but I suspect that by the end of the year, I think we'll have all of that situated with the other 2 positions.
My question, I asked the other night at the trustees meeting if there's any kind of campaign, and it was like, people are encouraging people to vote to get out of this? Or you said that you're going to send out a letter, and if they don't reply, you're going to assume it's a no.
Right, on the global amendment, yeah,
Right.
correct.
So there's going to be no verbal contact letters, recommendations.
Well, we'll talk at the review committee, and we do talk to them occasionally, but there's not going to be a road show going to every 149 systems, 80 participants knocking on the door. So there's been quite a few MUDs who have requested information, and we've provided that information.
So when is the deadline for?
October 1st. So July 1st, we're going to send out the official vote. Updated global amendment, everything that's tied to it, July 1st. That's due by October 1st. Then we announce it by November 1st. By contract, we have to have it done by 12/31/26.
Oh, it's going to be 1st of November?
July. Between July.
No, but it's going to have to be filed by the 1st of November. Up or
Correct.
down.
Yeah, correct. By the participants to us. Yeah. Well, by the 1st of October. I'm going to announce the outcome 1st of November.
Hopefully, these people realize that they need to vote yes for that global agreement and get out of that deal, because if we don't, we're going to end up and maybe liable for anybody that wants to expand the current plant to actually help build it. That was the old agreement. So hopefully there will be some people that will campaign, and a whole lot of people, for these people that don't understand that fortunately we would be paying $6 surface water conversion fee if 10 years ago what they proposed ultimately happened. That was, we would have a second 30 million gallon day plant. And anyway, just as a comment that hopefully anybody that's watching this will encourage anybody that's a participant in this agreement to vote to get out of it, because it's a plus for everybody. It's my only comment. As you know, I've been for 15 years, I've been an advocate for the plant against the original concept of subsidizing water rate or water for the whole county. But anyway, the trustee, between the minutes of the meeting and the other thing that we are getting ready, we turned over to Perillo, the project that we voted to approve of the last $280,000 to repair and replace the plant. And so that was approved, and they're predicting 9 to 11 months, I think.
Yeah, on the offset, it'll be At max 12 months, hopefully sooner.
Anyway, hopefully if we have an all mud meeting, it'll be a good time to get an update on that project also. To make sure that we don't get off, as you know, we ended up we used a lot of not felonious, but data that was not substantiated in the original work that's been done the last couple of years. But hopefully, we'll have an all mud meeting, get an update from Brillo. It'd be good. Okay.
I have a question. In this table of at the entities and usage, there's a column there called reuse with one entry in it. What's that?
No, reuse is
It's that reuse. It's effluent reuse. The one entity, maybe, is it Southern Montgomery County Mud, I believe?
Panther Trails Golf Course.
Panther Trails, okay. So essentially the GRP contract, one of the alternative water supplies was effluent reuse. So using wastewater, water that comes out of wastewater and putting it on golf courses and stuff like that. That entity does use it. And so we do consider it as part of the total water usage. So it's irrigation water, basically.
They actually pump water from plant one up to Lake Harrison.
Mm.
And then they irrigate, right?
Mhm.
Pump to Lake Harrison. And I also, don't you siphon water out of Lake Woodlands down?
They do. Yeah.
So you have a second.
For the north course or Oaks, I think it is. Yeah.
Panther Trail.
Panther Trails. Yeah, I can't keep up with
But
it.
anyway, they have a second siphon that goes, that lake next to T-Box right out of Lake Woodlands. So both Lake Harrison, so they reuse water. That's what.
You ever on a golf course and you see head covers or irrigation box covers that's purple? That means that they're using reuse water, which they do.
I think that was included in meeting the original GRP requirement. They had to reduce their water usage by 30%.
They did. They joined a little bit late and it's kind of a funky deal, but they joined on as a fail-safe through conservation. If they couldn't make it, if they couldn't make it, they're going to use a reuse. So.
Okay, we need to recess.
You still got.
Oh, John.
On the,
John, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to these two.
John Gagnon, I'm the public outreach coordinator. And you have a communications report starting on page 82. We are exiting the second quarter of our strategic plan. So we've had a heightened focus on water quality the last 3 months. And we're going to segue into water conservation for the summer months. Of course, we are always messaging on other topics as well. And you can see some of those primary ones there just below on page 82. You'll see water quality rear its head again here in early July. So those community super confidence reports go out, water quality reports go out to all the accounts. So we'll be promoting that, of course. So you'll see more about water quality here in a month or so. School-based water education program, there at the bottom of 82. So we just completed a pilot program at Colson Puff for 5th graders. It's about water education and water conservation. So it's TEKS correlated in-school instruction, and then they have a take-home kit that they install with their parents, shower timers, aerators, that type of thing. They report back on that to the teachers, and we count water savings and from that. So it pulls in the parents. We're really excited about initial indications are positive, but we're going to do a full assessment of that pilot, make any adjustments we need to, and then look to implement that township-wide for all 5th graders next year. And that's in partnership with SGRA and the township. Page 83 up top. We're excited to announce that we got an award. We got the Watermark Award for Communications Excellence from AWWA, the Texas chapter. So state award, Eric went down there to receive that. And that is for our work with WaterSmart registration. So we brought that from 17% to over 80% in 3 years' time. And that, as I've been saying, is not a communications award. That's a whole agency award because we've got a lot of departments and individuals working to get those numbers where they are right now. Examples of current communications, water bill ads, advertisements for community impact. and Chronicle on page 83, 84, especially for the new directors. We have an e-blast that goes out every Monday morning. And it tells you how much to water your lawn now. And it's a newsletter, so I put in other lawn care and landscaping tips, current happenings, educational offerings, that type of stuff. It's a great way to not only know how much to water your lawn each week, but to just get a good sense of the type of communication we're putting out there, the range of topics we're covering. Of course, we have many other platforms, but this, if you had to tune into one, I would recommend taking a look at this once a week. See, and you can sign up for that with that QR code at the top of page 84. If you're on social media, these are our platforms there on 85. Please like us and share us if you come across our post. That really helps our reach. And then nice article there in Woodlands Community Magazine on water quality on page 86 and our in-person outreach calendar. I always remind directors, whenever we're at an outreach event, you're welcome to come on out and hang out with us and talk to folks. It's a great way to just better understand the community, their questions and needs. So with that, any questions?
Just wanted to thank you for coming to the Grogan's Mill Village Association meeting on Monday night. We really appreciate it. Made a lot of good contacts there, especially with all the scholarship winners that were there. Just horn tuning. We gave out $25,000 worth of scholarships that night. He had to wait till we gave them out before he could talk.
Quite the crowd, yeah.
It was standing room
I
only.
don't know whether this is your bailiwick. The smart meters, I know it's a great system if people are looking at their emails. Do we have any kind of system where we have a big break or big loss and it's going on continuously for days? Do we have any kind of system that somebody says, maybe we ought to go out and look at what's going on at this address? Just, I don't know whether this is your.
For an individual.
Well, yeah, I'll give you what happened on our street is we had a houses for sale. They don't, in fact, it's a inheritance house and the heirs aren't there in town. And of course we had some rain while I walked by there and during the golf tournament, I walked anyway, 3 or 4 days. And anyway, make a long story short, I finally figured out that they had a huge water leak that was running down the street. And it happened to be on the side of the house, which a whole lot of people go by there. And I just wondered, and I called the realtor, and I won't tell you what she told me, but it was sad. But anyway, I called the realtor. Yeah, I saw that the other day and I notified the owners. Well, I know the heirs are in Dallas or somewhere. Anyway, I got in there and shut off the water at the meter. But then I got thinking, I mean, literally there had to be somebody, you may get a request for adjustment because it went on for a week, 24/7. And I just wondered if we had any kind of something in our system that says, hey.
We have the ability, we don't have the resources for staff to be managing the whole system. What we do is we rely on someone seeing that and calling us. And if that occurs, we go out within.
No, I understand that.
That day or as soon as we can, and then we'll identify and address it. But yeah, we've talked about that internally and looked at maybe how we could do that because we can see the highest users, the continuous, we can see that. But 34,000 accounts, we just don't have the resources to have someone manage that all day.
Sounds like a good use of AI to me.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, it seemed to me like you could
Figure out
have
how to code it.
the
You can vibe
computer ought
code
to,
your way into that.
say residential here, there's something going on at this.
I want to
residence.
ask him if they're on WaterSmart because they should have gotten an alert.
Who's that?
The
The
owner.
owner that left.
No, that was the problem. The owners are dead.
Oh,
The heirs are selling the house.
Oh, I see.
They're out of town and I don't know where the bills are going. But fortunately, their realtor had a sign and I called the number. And so anyway, I just went out there and shut it off myself after. But it was unfortunate because we had a couple rainstorms. You kind of let it ride. And then when it dried up for 2 or 3 days, I finally figured out and traipsed around on the side of the yard, found out they had obvious significant leak.
Just to be clear, we do not promote a resident turning. Just wanna-
Hey,
That's okay. water conservation. I don't want to promote that publicly.
Hey, bud directors, that's what's your job, some of your job. So you actually don't promote the turn off the water, just read.
I'm gonna redirect. There's no need for closed session.
Thank you.
Okay. So we got no needs to reconvene. Do we have any items anybody want to place on the future agenda? Thought the meeting is adjourned.